Without space, it was supposed to be the beginning of something hopeful, a moment fans had been waiting for, a comeback that felt emotional, powerful, and long overdue. When Celine Dion finally announced her return, it wasn't just news. It was a wave of excitement that spread across the world. People who had followed her journey for decades felt a sense of relief, even joy. But just as that excitement started building, something unexpected happened. A challenge emerged, and suddenly, the story took a different turn. Now imagine this from her perspective. After stepping away from the spotlight, dealing with personal struggles, and taking the time needed to focus on her health and life, making the decision to return isn't easy. It takes courage, it takes confidence, and it takes belief, not just in your talent, but in your ability to step back into a world that never really slowed down. So when she made that announcement, it carried weight. It meant something. But comebacks, especially in the world of music, are rarely simple. They come with pressure, expectations, and sometimes obstacles that no one sees coming. And that's exactly what seems to be unfolding here. Shortly after the announcement, reports and discussions began surfacing about a major hurdle, something that could potentially impact the momentum of her return. Fans quickly picked up on it. Conversations started online, questions began to form, and once again, the spotlight shifted, not just to her comeback, but to the challenges surrounding it. What exactly is going on? How serious is it? And most importantly, what does it mean for her future? To understand the situation, it's important to look at the bigger picture. Celine Dion isn't just another artist making a return. She's a global icon, someone whose voice and presence have defined generations of music lovers. From emotional ballads to unforgettable performances, her career has been built on consistency, passion, and an undeniable connection with her audience. So when obstacles appear, they don't just affect her, they affect the millions of fans who have been waiting to see her back on stage. At the same time, it's worth remembering that her journey hasn't been easy in recent years. She has been open about facing serious health challenges, which led to canceled shows and a long period away from performing. That alone makes a decision to return even more significant. It's not just a career move, it's a personal milestone. And that's why this new obstacle feels so important. Because it raises questions about timing, readiness, and what comes next. Some fans are expressing concern, wondering if this will delay her plans or force her to reconsider certain aspects of her comeback. Others remain hopeful, believing that if anyone can overcome challenges like this, it's Celine Dion. After all, her career has been filled with moments where she faced difficulties and still came out stronger. Meanwhile, industry experts and commentators are also weighing in. Comebacks in the music industry are complex. They require careful planning, physical and emotional readiness, and the ability to meet incredibly high expectations. For an artist like Celine Dion, those expectations are even higher. There's also the question of how much pressure comes from the outside world. Fans, media, and the industry all have their own expectations, and balancing those with personal well-being is never easy. In situations like this, even a small obstacle can feel much bigger because of the attention it receives. But here's an important perspective. Setbacks don't always mean failure. Sometimes, they are part of the process. They can be moments that slow things down, force adjustments, and ultimately lead to a stronger outcome. And in many ways, that could be what's happening here. For Celine Dion, this might be a moment to reassess, to take her time, and to ensure that when she does fully return, it's on her own terms. Because at the end of the day, a comeback isn't just about being back. It's about being ready. As the story continues to develop, one thing remains clear. People care deeply about her journey. The reaction to both her comeback announcement and this obstacle shows just how much impact she has had over the years. It's not just about music. It's about connection, emotion, and legacy. And speaking of legacy, this moment adds another chapter to an already remarkable career. Every artist faces challenges, but it's how they respond to them that defines their story. For Celine Dion, this could be another example of resilience, of pushing forward despite uncertainty. Of course, there's still a lot we don't fully know. Details are limited, and much of the conversation is based on interpretation and speculation. But that hasn't stopped people from following closely, hoping for updates, and waiting to see what happens next. Some believe this is just a temporary setback, something that will be resolved with time. Others think it might lead to changes in her plans, perhaps a slower or more gradual return. Either way, the situation remains fluid. What matters most is a bigger picture, the fact that she is even considering a return after everything she has been through. That alone is significant. It shows determination, passion, and a desire to reconnect with the audience that has supported her for so long. As fans continue to watch and wait, one thing is certain: the story is far from over. Whether this obstacle becomes a defining challenge or just a small bump in the road, it will shape the next chapter of her journey. And maybe that's what makes this moment so compelling. It's not just about a comeback. It's about resilience, about facing uncertainty, and about the strength it takes to step back into the spotlight after everything. So now the question remains: will this obstacle slow things down, or will it make a return even more powerful? Only time will tell. But if history has shown us anything, it's that Celine Dion has never been defined by the challenges she faces, but by how she rises above them.